Hello and welcome to another edition of the Bad Poker Podcast. I'm Chris Bean and we have got an eventful one for you today because we have our World Cup of Names as well as drawing the Poker Raffles winner. So Dom, what else have we got coming up?
Well, it's been a very, very busy week, not least because my laptop crashed on Saturday night just as I was editing the final pieces of the Barry Carter interview. And so that was 25 hours of work that I thought were down the drain. 2:30 in the morning. And I did a quick Google to see if I thought I could recover it. And it looked like I might be able to. So I shut the lid of the laptop and woke up the next morning. And I spent about half an hour researching how to retrieve corrupt files from Audacity and finally managed to do it. But it was a scary moment. We've got obviously we're going to have a quick chat with Jamie. Then we're going to do the first half of the Bad World Cup of Names draw. Have another bit of a chat with Jamie. Cover some news. There's been a lot of news this week, and obviously we're on a quite tight time schedule this week. So I don't know how many of them we'll get in, and then we'll do the other half of the draw, and then have a quick chat about what's happening next week, and then we will say ta-ta.
So, of course, Dom's alluded to our guest this week. It's WSOP Bracelet winner Jamie Walden. Jamie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
So, your World Cup of Names at the recent WSOP has been our catalyst to do this. Was there a name in particular?
You say catalyst. I say we just straight up stole the idea.
I was flattered and honoured that people wanted to, take it on and run with it. Was there one particular name? Yeah, the first name that I saw that I just immediately thought, wow, this is phenomenal, and I wonder if there are any more, was Wagner Ripper. And I then very, very, very quickly found out that he had a brother called Walter Ripper, and then so in the WSOP app for the World Series now, you can see all of the names in the lobby.
Sure.
And Wagner Ripper was next to Ernest Butts. they had the same chip count basically, and I was just like, right.
An idea was born.
I was like, there must be more, and there were more. I didn't have to look very hard. Turns out Americans have unbelievably great names, as we're about to find out.
So without further ado, I think we should get cracking. How it's going to work is Jamie's just going to shout a number from random between 1 and 32, and then Dom's going to shout a number
right here.
Yeah, Dom's going to shout the name, and then I'll give a little bit of information about each player.
Okay, let me just get my player list up on the screen. There we go. Yep, okay, I'm good to go.
I mean, some of these names are absolutely wild. Right. 29.
29. That is Saber Semenov.
Saber Semenov. Normally, what happens to me when I watch a reboot of Gladiators? Semenov has won cash at the TJ Cloutier Challenge in 2011.
Brilliant.
Okay, next one.
8.
Number 8. That is Ginger Kitchen Master.
This is one of my favourites. The Auburn chef from Michigan has 2 classes in Las Vegas.
It is one of my favourites as well.
That is outstanding, isn't it? Yeah.
Kitchen Master is just, I mean, unbelievable.
I think it's a mistranslation because while I was looking on Hendermob, there's a few Kuchenmasters, and I'm guessing it's from the German. And Kuchen is to cook, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Kuchen and Kuchen, and it's cook and kitchen. And I think that's probably someone that's turned up at Ellis Island, back in the 40s or something. And whoever was taking the record couldn't say Kuchenmaster, so they just stuck Kitchen Master down.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fantastic name.
Thank you, Susie. Then let's get on with it.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
What's the next number, Jerry?
Next up, 25.
25.
25. That's Heinz Punch Chart or Heinz Punch Chart, whichever way you want it.
This is what happens when you eat too many beans. An Austrian player who won an MPN Poker Tour side event in 2017.
Okay, next one.
32.
32, Miguel Lobon.
Nothing much to get excited about here. The only one for Lobon is a €35 event in Madrid.
Lobon. I mean, I imagine that's probably quite a common name in Latin.
Yeah, it wasn't until earlier today that I suddenly remembered Simon Le Bon, and I'm guessing, like you say, it's probably the Spanish version of Le Bon, I guess, or something like that. But it looks funny to us, and that's all that counts.
Exactly. There's also Degen that is quite a common German surname as well.
Yes.
Again.
Right. Okay. So that's 4 so far, is it, Chris?
I think so. What's the next one?
Yeah. Feels like 4.
It is. Yeah. Feels like a lot more already. Okay. Next one.
24.
24. That is Martin Jackshits.
What I normally turn over at Showdown, the Aussie has 1 cash and a pineapple tournament in Vietnam.
Okay. Next one.
22.
That is Thunder Wang.
Thunder Wang is on the loose. Thunder Wang is loose. Taiwanese player who picked up a couple of catches at CTP Kaohsiung.
Okay. Number 7.
Again, absolutely phenomenal Thunder Wang.
Yes, fantastic, isn't it?
Number 20.
Number 20 is Zygmantus Jockus.
Do you find it funny when I say Zygmantus Jockus? An English player with Lithuanian roots who's a regular Dusseldorf.
Okay.
27. 27, yeah. This is your favourite, Chris, Lars Hole.
A senior player from Norway who specialises in mixed games and is the bane of my existence.
Arsehole.
Okay, next one, please.
And 32, we've had number 6.
Number 6 is Manuel Bustanera.
No, thank you. The Filipino bubbled the final table of PokerStars Live Manila in 2016.
Okay, next one, please.
Number 13.
13 is Gaylord Communal.
With a literal translation.
Again, one of my
with the literal translation of Clapham Common, the Frenchman came second at the Golden Nugget Nightly in 2024.
Yeah, I think, so we mentioned this before, Joe. He's French, so it's probably communal, but Gaylord Communal sounds funnier, so we're going to go with that.
It is. I have no notes on that one. It is sensational.
Okay. Number 5. That is Kurt Hofart.
Queef to his friends, Hofart only had a solitary cash at the Caesars Palace in 2013.
Okay, next one, please. Sorry, I keep talking over you. Say again.
18.
18. That is Mick Moistlick.
Well, what other type is that? Only the 1 cash for the Estonian at the Coolbet Open in 2019.
Very strong. Do you think any woman wants to end up as Mrs. Moistlick? I don't.
Maybe one day we'll get to interview Mick and ask him.
Number 7.
Number 7, Furkenberg.
Furkenberg. When he tells you his name, you put your arms up in the air. The Turkish-American is one of the most accomplished players on the list with 2 Venetian Deep Stack titles and $623,000 in lifetime earnings.
Nice.
Love it. 25. Have we had 25?
Yes, we have. That's Heinz punts chart.
Number 9.
Number 9. That is Manfred Sprangler.
Not an alien from Super Mario Galaxy, Sprangler from Austria came second in an event at Seefeld in 2011.
The Sprangler. The Boston Sprangler. 13 we've had. Number 3.
Number 3 is Juan Bona.
Has never needed to take advice from Pele in a TV commercial. Bona has had 2 cashes at Run Good San Diego in 2023.
Okay, so the 16th and last one of our first half of the draw. Please, Jamie.
31.
31 is Dusty Belcher.
Fucking hell. Unbelievable.
What I call my old man, Belcher mainly plays out of Dallas and has had 17 catches for $3,765 in lifetime earnings.
Now let's recap the first half of the Bad World Cup of Names draw. Sabre Seenoff versus Ginger Kitchen Master. Heinz Punchart will face Miguel Lobon. Martin Jakschitz has a tricky tie against Thunder Wang. Zygmantus Jockers takes on Lars Hall. Manuel Bustanera is against Gaylord Communal. Kurt Hoffart versus Mick Moistlick. Furkan Beg is against Manfred Sprangler, and rounding it off is Juan Bona versus Dusty Belcher. Keep your eye out on the socials when these matches take place and for the future rounds. Back to the boys in the studio.
Excellent.
I feel like I'm constantly just shaking my head because they're so good.
Well, to be fair, we had the pick of the whole world, whereas when you did it in the summer, you had to make do with just the people that were in Las Vegas at the time. So we're very fortunate, really. And
How did you, out of interest, comb Hendon Mob for the name?
By just typing in dirty words, that's all we
You
did.
just literally typing in like dick.
I spent about 10 days going through all of the kind of major tournaments I could think of, and all the ones with big fields, so that their people in the money would be listed on Hendon Mob. And I was pouring through those for about 10 days. And then I got a message from Chris with about 15 of these absolute belters. And I was like, well, how did you do that then? He went, well, I just typed some rude words into Hendon Mob. And it hadn't occurred to me to do that. But Chris was one step ahead of me. And then after that, all bets were off.
I essentially just put all the lyrics into Monty Python's Peanut song into Hendon Mob, and that's the results.
Solid strat.
So, Jerry, just to touch on your poker career now, congratulations on winning the bracelet in 2024. It seemed like it was a hell of a year in 2024 for you. How do you top a year like that?
Yeah. 2024 was a fun year. That is true. I only really kind of started coming back to poker properly seriously in COVID. In COVID, I started, studying again and consuming content and, joining seminars and doing all of that stuff and kind of wanting to get sharp again. And then actually had a really bad couple of years first, coming back, and was really kind of questioning whether because I kind of went into the wilderness for a good 10, 12 years and went and got jobs and had a few different careers and started a business and did all sorts of things.
I'm not being funny, Jamie, but you don't look old enough. I assumed that you just started playing then.
No, I'm deceptively old.
You've obviously been living well.
Got a good moisturising routine.
you got Mick Moistlick looking after you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mick lives in my little bedside table.
And,
Sorry, I cut you off there, but
No,
yeah.
so I kind of, I came back to it seriously in 2020, 2021, and yeah, just kind of wasn't really playing that much, to be honest. Was playing a bit online, but was still a bit rusty, and I was questioning, as I think many poker players do at different stages of their careers, like, is this, am I good enough? Am I, is this the thing that I want to do? And then I had a tournament in Reading. I won a 25-25, just like I think it was a £250 buy-in or something. But that was the first one where I was like, okay, cool. Like this is I'm getting somewhere. And then started going on to the kind of GKBT scene in 2023. And then by 2024, I was just feeling a bit more settled and yeah, got blessed with some run good as you always need. And yeah, 2025 has been a lot more quiet, to be honest. I haven't played as much as I did last year. Part of the reason is my wife's job and not being able to be as kind of committed to traveling and all of that stuff. But yeah, still I will be going to Vegas and I will be trying to go to as many EPTs and tournaments around London and the UK as I can. And yeah, hopefully get another few scores under my belt.
Are you going to run your World Cup of Names again? Your World Series of Names, sorry.
I will be doing it, yeah, for sure. People were messaging me on Instagram asking me to do kind of the EPT series of names, and I don't think those people realise just how much time and effort involved. That series of names involved every single day in Vegas. I would literally wake up in the morning, crawl through the lobbies, find some good ones, and then you've got to do a little reel. You've got to it's just a faff, and you have to. I think I was doing it all in all. It was like a month of content every single day. So but no, I will do it again just because it's good.
I imagine as well that the World Series, in terms of like single standalone festivals, is probably the only one big enough to be able to find that many names. So
and the app is just that the app makes it so good as well. It just means that you can really trawl through the lobbies. You don't need to go through like Poker News or anything else. You can also do it while you're sat at the poker table, which is always quite nice.
You picked up your bracelet at the Hall of Fame Poker Bounty, which is an event that I covered in 2023. It's a really fun event, and I like to see it as the Rex high roller for the series. How did the tournament suit your style of play?
I mean, most of it is just a vanilla tournament, essentially. I think I had, through the whole 3 days, I think I probably spent about 3 hours on a table with a Hall of Famer. It's just so much of it is potluck in terms of when you get someone on your table, and kind of once you get pretty deep, then the bounty isn't actually worth that much anymore. People were going mental at the beginning. So the first few levels, like I was briefly on a table with Barry Greenstein, and every time he was in the pot, he couldn't get fold. But then it'd
be horrible for people like him, because everyone else is so desperate to claim that scalp, presumably.
Yeah. It's I mean it's none of them I think take it that seriously. They're just in it for a bit of fun. I don't even think they have to pay to enter either. So but then day 2 I was on a table with Eric Seidel for a few hours, and by that time you're already getting your guarantee of in the money is more than their bounty anyway, so it's kind of it becomes less and less important.
Right.
And with the Hall of Fame bounty, it's always like at the tail end of a series and like crashes with the main event final table. Were you a bit disappointed with a lack of limelight when like that occurs?
It's do you know what? It is quite weird. When you I can basically only do that bit of Vegas, just because I've got a young daughter, and I just basically can't be away for more than 2 weeks. So I go for like the last possible day of the main event, and then I play till the end of the series. And when I won it, they were literally kind of clearing away.
Yeah. Well, they don't hang about, do they? Once that main event's
I mean, I remember walking to Paris. So the final table was in Horseshoe, and then when you win, you get the slip, and you have to kind of walk to Paris to go and see the cashier. And I remember going to Paris and peeking into the big, whatever it's called, convention center room.
Yeah.
And it was just completely empty.
Yeah.
Already. So, I didn't get the national anthem in the middle of the room. I didn't get, you don't get quite the same level of like attention that you would if you won one halfway through the series. But I'm not complaining.
No. No. I noticed that really the Irish Open this year as well. I mean, literally once. I've forgotten his name now. What was his name, Chris?
Tower?
The guy that won it. Simon Wilson. Yeah, as soon as because he stage dived into his fans, didn't he? As soon as they pulled him out of there and done the interviews, it was unbelievable. I mean, the stagehands were just like breaking up the stage as the second that he kind of got off of it.
Yeah.
And within 90 minutes, the room was empty. Like every table, all of the stage lights, all of the cameras, everything was just like, it was just bare. It was unbelievable.
And there's just one corner of the room playing like a €100 turbo.
Yeah, and I was reporting on it. So. I was supposed to have an early finish on the last day, and I ended up being the last one finishing. Nice. Yeah. So, will you be going back to the Irish Open this year?
Yes, I love the Irish Open. I think it's probably my favourite stop. EPT Prague and Irish Open, probably my two faves.
I think the Irish Open is my favourite tour stop that I've been to. I mean, I've still got a few. I've not been to Prague and I've not been to Barcelona, but of the ones that I've done, the Irish Open,
it's just consistently great fun.
Yeah.
There's incredible tournament selection. You can play high, you can play low. They've got that amazing mini main event that runs the whole week, which is like an unbelievable value tournament.
Yeah.
If you can bag, it's kind of impossible to bag, but if you can,
is it like final 5% of that field?
Something like that. Yeah.
But then there's all the other stuff that's going on there outside of the poker as well, which just makes it a great place to, like, for instance, as a reporter, if you're there like when we did the World Series, that's a slog. And on your days off, there's nothing else to do in Vegas, and it's like 45 degrees in the summer. So you just, whereas at the Irish Open, it's 2 weeks. And if you get a spare moment, you pop into the crack den and there's always something fun going on. And it's just a great atmosphere there.
Yeah, I mean, as a kind of as a semi-serious poker player, I try and avoid the crack den too much.
Yeah.
I try and, when I can, I try and steer clear of it. I think part of the kind of EV that is generated at the Irish Open is managing to steer clear of that and letting other people.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, presumably as a semi-serious poker player, that's another advantage for you, is that people are in there getting absolutely mashed up and not exactly playing their A game when they're
you see a lot of wild stuff, especially at the cash in the kind of cash room as well. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So I mean, that a lot of live poker is basically just about discipline, whether it's not drinking or playing the right hands and not getting bored and frustrated, or not letting the annoying dude who sits next to you tilt you, or the guy who's got terrible breath, or whatever. You have to navigate all of this stuff which you don't have to do online, and which I actually really love the test of having to deal with. I think some people are more naturally suited to online, and they just don't like having to deal with all of those extra factors in the game.
I don't mind having to deal with them. My problem is when I get to play in an event like that, like the Irish Open or the IPO, I just have too much fun, and it is that temptation of going and everyone else is having a Guinness at the table. I will as well, and then before you know it, you've had 3 or 4, and all of a sudden you're not playing poker anymore. You're just kind of throwing chips around.
So my rule is like on any stop that I play, my rule is last level beers.
Right. Yeah.
So if I make it to the last level of the day, then I'm allowed a beer, and then if I get to kind of within 15 minutes of bagging, I might have another.
That was our rule as reporters, wasn't it, Chris? The World Series, basically.
No, that was just your rule because you're an alcoholic.
Oh no, it was my rule. I started drinking on the 3rd level.
This guy actually got paid to go to the crack den for a day at the Irish Open this year.
2 days.
So,
2 days. Yeah, I did. They asked me to do an article on the crack den because everyone else had the floor covered, and I literally got paid to go and get pissed in the crack den, and the article went down so well that Jen asked me to do another one. So I ended up getting paid for 2 days in the crack den. So it's nice work. Get it.
I mean, there's a lot of material.
Yeah, there certainly was. There was some that I had to leave out.
Yeah, no, I bet.
But it was at the Irish Open you had one of the big scores in 2024. Was it the Bounty Cup, Mystery Bounty Tournament that you picked up the big win?
But I know what he was going to say.
Mystery Bounty, where you ran long.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of the beginning of that, because that was 2023. That was just, I mean, mystery bounties, when a mystery bounty goes well, it's just ridiculous. I think I won. I think my total winnings, including bounties, because they don't show up on Hendon, but my total winnings was 87k, and the prize pool was only 160k, I think.
Wow.
So I literally won. Like maybe it was 170k, but I literally won like 50% of the prize pool.
Wow.
I knocked out, like, it was back in the day when PokerStars they had 2 top bounties, and one of them was reserved for the final table. So I won that, and then I think I knocked out 7 people on the final table or something. It's just one of those ridiculous sun runs, where just everything went my way. I think I had 2 double knockouts on the FT.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, not had one of those yet this year. So it's the GUKBT Grand Final coming up, so that would be a good time.
And did you mention that you're going to Prague this year as well?
Prague is still slightly up in the air. I would say I'm probably 80% yes, but we'll see. We'll see how Grand Final goes.
So, speaking of foreign times, I think it's about time we do our Poker Raffles draw now. We've got 6 prizes to give away. 5 the top prize of a £50 site credit, and 5 runners up will receive £10. We've got 20 names in the draw, so I'll just share my screen and bring that up. Okay, so here we go. So for the top prize of £50 of site credit for Poker Raffles. And the winner is Paul Mice, who is, I believe, the beer poker tour he runs. So he's our winner of the £50 prize.
How come I've never played on the beer poker tours? That's made for me.
Okay, and our runners-up prizes.
If Roger doesn't win one of these, I'll be amazed because he wins everything.
And just as you said, Roger is the winner.
I told you. I'm only surprised he didn't win the main one.
Our second consolation winner is A. Pater Tristan Chaplin. Number 3 is Richard Harris.
Unlucky, Musty. Missed out there. It's good mate of mine, Musty.
Number 4 is Philip Clark Laws. And our final winner of £10 of site credit for Poker Raffles is the luckbox himself, John Bousfield. He just recently knocked up 100 cashes on the GUKPT.
Hey, was he the guy that won the 100th cash last week?
Indeed, yes.
Very nice, Chris. Very, very low rent special effects there. Enjoyed that immensely.
You're welcome. So yes, we'll be in contact with you shortly to get that site credit added to your account.
I guarantee Roger, with his £10 of site credit, will win an entry into something.
Oh, no doubt he's looked in. So moving on to the poker news now. Another 2 episodes dropped of the WSOP documentary, and the 4th episode centred around Ren Lin, which was a bit controversial considering he recently got disqualified at Cyprus. Jimmy, were you surprised this episode went out?
Not really, to be honest. I think, as I mentioned before, in one of my many careers, I was in very briefly in that kind of media sphere. And if you got content and it needs to go out and it features someone who's done something controversial, then to be honest, probably get it out.
All publicity is good publicity, right?
Yeah. I think if he'd done, if he was in jail or something, they probably would have aired it. But it was.
I don't think that
obviously was very much in the wrong, but I don't think in the kind of grand scheme of bad things that poker players have done, he's very high up the list.
No, that's true. But I also think that he featured so heavily in that episode that there was no way they could have edited it and taken him out, because they'd have lost half the material. They'd have had to pull the whole episode, and then they'd have lost some of the narrative and stuff. It was unfortunate timing, especially sort of coming, two weeks before, and they'd have had all the schedules sorted out in advance and stuff. So I'm not sure there's a lot else they could have done, but certainly, it was unfortunate timing.
And have you been watching these on YouTube, Jerry?
I've watched the first one. I haven't watched the second one yet. I would very much like to see Game of Gold make a return. I really enjoyed that.
Barry said something very similar last week, actually.
I thought it was a really fun format. And what else? To be honest, I'm not a huge consumer of kind of pre-recorded poker content. I really like watching streamers. I love watching all of the kind of coaching videos, and I like watching people doing study sessions on Twitch and all of that stuff. But like in terms of the Game of Gold, and Game of Gold was pretty much the only one that I did watch. What's the big game? Haven't really watched much of that. Yeah, so I'm not really like an avid consumer of that side of the poker world, to be honest.
No, I'm very similar actually.
I would much prefer to be watching something that I'm kind of actively learning from. I think that's, you know, there's so much to learn. You might as well keep going.
Yeah. And also in a lot of those games, like high stakes poker, you're really what you've just said. You might be watching some of the biggest names in poker, but they're not playing their A game. They're there to provide entertainment, and they're there to provide big pots. And you're more likely to learn how not to play a hand than you are to learn anything actually that's going to help your game. And I'm very similar. I'd rather watch like the EPTs, like when they get someone in the commentary box to provide colour, like you get an Ike Haxton or someone. Yeah. And you learn so much in the half hour.
Well, I mean, when Sam Grafton used to be on them, I used to really love them. The Triton streams are amazing for that stuff as well. Actually.
Yes.
All of the commentators on the Triton streams who do the kind of strategy sections are amazing. There's kind of Kevin Rabichow is fantastic. The American guy whose name I now can't remember, and I won't try and describe him on a podcast.
I think I wrote it
down. But yes, some very good analysis on that too. And to be honest, even the GKPT stuff, I think Jay Harwood is unbelievable from a strategy point of view. Tower, you're unbelievable as well if you're watching, but maybe just less so from the strategy point of view, I would say.
I'm sure he won't argue against that.
Entertainment value high.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Is there anything else that caught your eye this week, Dom?
Yeah, just a couple of quick pieces because we are running short of time. We've got the second half of the draw to do. I just wanted to mention Maria Konnikova winning the NAPT High Roller. I can't remember. I think it was about 60k. Might have been a bit more, but it was significant. It took her over 100 million. 100 million. Took her over $1 million on Hendon Mob, and she's just a wonderful ambassador for the game. I've had a few interactions with her, and she's always entertaining. She's always got something great to say, and she's just a general positive to have in the poker world. So yeah, I couldn't be happier for her. And the other thing is somewhat sad news, but the passing of Kevin O'Connell, I wanted to mention. Players like you and certainly myself of a certain vintage will remember him from Late Night Poker when it first started on Channel 4. He's a regular face there, and he's very, very popular amongst the kind of old school players. There was a lovely tribute from Mickey May to him on Facebook, and another one from Porrick Parkinson, which actually I've got here. I'd like to read out because it was just beautifully worded. He just said, R.I.P. Kevin O'Connell, great friend, loved by Irish poker, English passport, Irish heart. And coming from such a legend of an Irish poker player as Porrick Parkinson, I think that says it all, really. And it's a lovely tribute.
Absolutely. He was a legend of the game, and he'd be much missed. We really a whiskey in his memory.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So without further ado, I think it's time to do the final 16 names in our draw.
Yep, let me just get them back up on my screen. I really must go to a 2-screen combination at some point.
There's going to be some serious number repetition that I am not going to be able to.
Yeah, and it might take. Yeah. Could have thought this through.
I'll give it a go. My I'll test my photographic memory and see how I do.
I think I can remember most of the ones you said already, but we'll get there in the end. By hook or by crook. Right. Okay. Fire away.
21.
21 is Michael Botshafter.
Wow.
An Austrian who picked up a solo cash at Bratislava in 2022.
Okay.
Number 8.
That's Ginger Kitchen Master. We've definitely had
Right.
him.
Okay. We have 29.
That's Saber Semenov. We've had him.
27.
We've had 27.
That's Laszlo.
Hang on. 21. I think we've had 21.
You've just
Number 6.
That is, we've had him.
Yeah,
That's
Man
Man
Run.
Christ. We're going to be here all day, aren't we? 24.
24. We've had that one as well.
17.
That's Betty Sweat. We've not had 17.
Yes.
Betty Sweat.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Betty Sweat becomes quite sweaty when getting set. When Betty sets, she becomes the sweaty Betty. Sweating, betting sets.
Well done, Chris.
Number 19.
19 is Justin Bieber.
Not the palm parody of an annoying Canadian singer. Beaver picked up a cash of a 1K Super Turbo for 2025 WSOP.
Number 4.
Number 4 is German Ponce.
Not Boris Becker. All the Ponce's cashes have come at Barcelona, including a cash at EPT Barcelona back in 2013.
German Bonds is in my top 3, 100%. Done that. It's not very random, this random number generator. 32. I think we've done that.
That's Miguel Lebon.
21.
21.
It's Michael Botchoff. Yeah, we've had him.
Number 12. I'm pretty confident we haven't done that.
Yes, 12 is Roger Ransom.
Not what Lorena Bobbitt demanded after her actions in 1993. A player from Florida who had a couple of cashes that run good at Jacksonville this year. One for the teenagers there.
Okay, next one.
23.
23 is Jesus Bastardo.
As I like to call Jesus Bastardo. Straight from a Tarantino movie, Bastardo has picked up 3 MSPT trophies in 2024 at San Diego.
Number 3. Number 2.
Number 2 is Kurt Kauschitz. Believe it or not.
Only the one cash for Kauschitz, which deserves a pat on the back.
Whoa!
Oh, that's...
Oh, oh dear. Next one.
Phenomenal. 19. No.
I don't know. We just had him.
30.
30 is Dim Slagmolen.
Dutch player who cashes regularly in Breda and Utrecht. He finished 6th in the open-faced Chinese at the Irish Open this year.
Yeah, and I was reporting on that. It's a fantastic tournament. Should be more OFC at festivals, I think, but you have to find enough dealers that can work out all the royalties. But they did an absolutely fantastic job. It was an amazing tournament to cover.
How many numbers do we actually have left?
Right. I could let me cross off the ones that we haven't got, and then
let's retrofit this. Otherwise,
yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah,
so
just shout out the numbers that are left. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, but I've got to take the ones off first before I could do that, because otherwise I'm just looking at a list of numbers I've written down.
I've got to say, it's a real slick operation, guys.
I said to Barry last week, I had to apologise to him for the shambles that it was. This has made that look like a,
We are called the Bad Poker Podcast after all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, got them all. Okay, so we've got number 1, number 10, number 11, number 14, number 15, number 16.
Well, let's just do 1 to 8 down that list, and then it'll.
Okay, all right. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So number 1 is the next one.
Okay, so the 7th person on that list.
Oh, I see what you. I see.
You wanna-
Okay.
Just
All right.
for my number generator.
I see. All right. That's a really good idea. All right. You can edit all of this out, Chris. Right. Okay, Jamie. Do that again. Number 7 on that list, yeah?
7 on the list, please.
That is Thomas. I think it's supposed to be pronounced Klungerland, but for our purposes, this is Thomas Klungeland.
Strong. A great theme park.
Well, I've gone with not a knocking up shop. Klungeland from Norway has a solo cash from the Norwegian Poker Championships.
8th on the list, please.
That is one of my favourites, Ernest Hatmaker.
Hatmaker cash at the 2018 WSOP Colossus, for which I doff my cap.
Very good. I believe Casey Hatmaker was actually one of the original World Series of Names participants.
I did. Yes, I think you're right. I do remember a Hatmaker.
Because there was a Hatmaker versus, I think it was Casey Hatmaker versus Joseph Shoemaker was one of the knockouts.
Nice.
Absolute grudge match. Number 1.
Number 1 is Clint Cockburn.
UTI to his friends, Canadian Cockburn cashed in the 2017 WSOP main event.
3rd on your list, please.
That is Friedrich Rumpfinger.
Freddie got rump-fingered. The German has one cash at a WSOP side event in 2017.
Number 2.
That is Randy Ho.
Classic.
The best type, Ho cashed at a WSOP circuit event at North Carolina in 2011.
3 more left.
Number 4.
That is Lancelot Fuchs. Or Fuchs, if you must.
French player whose most recent result was 5th place finish at BPT Paris in May this year. No confirmation if this was played on a round table or not.
You're wasted here, Chris. You know that, don't you?
Number 5.
Number 5, one of the front runners, I think. That is Hans Pfister.
Yes, one of the favourites of the competition. Pfister's first cash was in 1995 and the final table 2 WSOP Omaha 8 or better event.
Number 6.
And that is Fatty Cock.
Wow.
Yeah, not something I've heard before. Swiss-Turkish player who cashed in the Mini Irish Open this year.
Oh, God. I was going to say I can't believe how childish it is, but I can easily believe how childish it is.
So is that all?
Right, so there's only one left, right?
That is all of them. I will, after we finish here tonight, I shall put them into a Word document or spreadsheet or something and bracket them all up so you can see where they're going to go. And we'll probably run a couple of votes this week on Twitter and then have a discussion with Tower next week. And then we're going to take a few weeks off over Christmas, but we'll be running this World Cup throughout December, and then we'll probably leave the semi-final and the final to the first and second shows that we do in the new year.
Excellent. Will you be? Is there any on Instagram or is it Twitter only?
You're not on Twitter, are you, Jamie?
No, I'm not.
It's a very wise choice.
Yeah, it was ruining. It was taking up too much of my time.
I completely understand. We're looking at options at the moment. Chris has sent me something earlier, which is some kind of amalgamative app that you can use that collates votes on various. So obviously, I mean, we don't have a massive following, so we'll probably try and put it on as many sites as we can.
Yeah.
But, we'll keep you updated one way or the other.
Yeah, do it.
Now let's have a recap of the second half of the draw of the Bad World Cup of Names. Michael Botschafter versus Betty Sweat, Justin Bieber versus German Punks, Roger Ransom versus Jesus Bastardo, Kurt Kauschitz versus Dim Slag Morn, Thomas Kungeland versus Ernest Hatmaker, Clint Cockburn versus Friedrich Rumfinger, Randy Ho versus Lancelot Fuchs, and the tie of a round, Hans Pfister versus Fatty Cock. Keep your eyes peeled on our socials on when the voting commences. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and follow our Instagram.
I have to say, Hans Pfister versus Fatty Cock is like Liverpool against Man City in the third round of the FA Cup.
Well, there are some phenomenal names on that list. There's going to be some goodies that go out in the first round, I'm afraid. So that's the nature of the beast.
That's the nature of the World Series of names. Wait, this isn't the World. What are you guys calling this?
Well, we seem to be
World Cup of names, maybe.
I think we're going to call it the Bad World Cup of Names, right?
Yeah,
Chris?
nice. I like it.
Yeah,
like it.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we've got time for this week. Thank you, Jamie Walden, for joining us this week and presiding over the draws. And Dom, thank you again once again.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Jamie, because obviously, unlike other people that we've had on this show, we've never met Jamie before. So I think it took a leap of faith to trust us.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I feel like anyone who likes weird names as much as me is automatically a kindred spirit. So yeah, was happy to do it.
Well, it was great to meet you anyway, Jamie. And
Yeah,
yeah,
guys. See you at maybe the Irish Open, if not before, I guess.
Oh, we'll definitely be there.
Right.
So
All right.
Next week. Good night.
No.